Hello friends, welcome to my channel Code for Self, and today we come up with a new tutorial, that is the Terraform tutorial. This is the part 1, and the whole purpose of this tutorial is this is the journey from beginner to experts. So we are going to see the key concepts of Terraform from beginner, from starting, and at the end of this whole tutorial series we will be the expert. That's what is our objective from this course. So let's start with uh, in this tutorial part 1 we are going to learn what is Terraform, how to install the Terraform on Windows, Visual Studio Code extensions that need to install, Terraform components, Terraform configuration file, set up AWS access keys and secret keys, set up AWS CLI, Terraform commands, that is init, plan, apply and destroy, Terraform providers, and hands-on demo. So that is the overall objective of this whole session. That is the tutorial part 1. There will be the next more tutorials will come. So if you have still not subscribed the channel, please subscribe it. So the more useful information on tutorials which we are creating for Terraform, everyone it is available and everyone can see that. So let's begin with what is Terraform. So basically Terraform is an open source infrastructure as code tool created by HashiCorp. So we all know right now on the cloud, creating any infrastructure, either we have to log into Cloud Console app and manually we have to do it. And every time if someone is working on AWS, someone is working on Azure or Google Cloud, definitely they have their own syntax of creating resources, so it's always difficult to create things manual. So that's why the Terraform come up. So Terraform is an open source infrastructure as a code. So whatever the infrastructure we need to build on cloud, we write as in code, and from code we control that. So next one is this allows to define and manage your infrastructure resources like virtual machines, networks and databases using human readable configuration files instead of manually creating resources through console, user interface or command line scripts. So that is the whole purpose of Terraform. Now how to install the Terraform. So this is the link which I have given. So if you go and click on this link, so it will redirect us to the Terraform um, site, and this is the Terraform official site, and here there are different ways of installing Terraform on Mac OS, Windows and Linux. So we will go with the Windows, and we are going to download with ADM 64 AMD 64. So if I click on download, it will start downloading. Once it's downloaded, we will unzip it and put it in some C drive or any folder structure of executable. So let it download it. Once it downloaded, so you can see if I open this one, so I can see this is Terraform exe. So this exe I will put it on any of our C drive or any drive folder, and we will add that folder path to the environment variable. So if you will go and see edit systems and environment variable, so if you type environment on your control panel, you will see this window, environment variable, and let's go on path, and you will see here is our Terraform that is present. So C Terraform folder I have put it my executable, that's why C Terraform is here. So that's the way I can execute it. I can add it or install it on my Windows, and after adding it, it is installed or not. How to check that? So for that we have command prompt. So if I open my CMD prompt, CMD prompt is opened here. So if I just need to go and put Terraform version, so if I click enter, I can see I have Terraform installed, and that is v1.13.2. So that is the Terraform version is installed at my machine. So this is the whole installation things. It is very simple and easy. We can easily do it. And next, moving to after installation, what code extension especially we need for to write code on our local machine on Visual Studio. So if you open any of Visual Studio, I have already opened it. So if you go here and see, so go to extensions, and in extensions just type Terraform. So you will have HashiCorp as well as Microsoft. I will suggest install the HashiCorp Terraforms, which is already installed on my machine. But in case of you are doing first time, you need to install it, and that the whole information is given here. So after these two happen, then what next we have to do? So we have to just understand the overall flow of Terraform, how the Terraform works. So Terraform, as I said, this is the right thing where we have a editor that is Visual Studio Code, and we write the Terraform. Terraform file name is known as tf.tf. So this is my empty folder. If I go and write something, my first Terraform dot, there is extension .tf. So you will see this icon is got changed. That is the so this is my Terraform. If I just need to go and rename it this to text, so this is something else and it will not work. So I need tf extension. Okay, so that's the one thing. So what is the overall components for Terraform? So Terraform, what we write code in our local machine. This is the local machine. So one key concept of Terraform is providers. So basically we have a list of providers like AWS, Amazon, Azure, as well as Google Cloud, as well as many more, which we can see in Terraform basically platform, that is the official website. We can see there are a lot of providers are using. So provider use, and we can see there are a lot of providers are there. So right now in this tutorial we are using AWS. So whatever we write, and there is a command, as I initially said, that is plan and apply. So once we plan and apply, it uses the target API. So if my provider is AWS, it uses the AWS API and go and create the resources on AWS. If my provider is Azure, then it will use the Azure API and create it on Azure, and similarly for other APIs also. So this way Terraform works. It's all depends on 4 commands: init, plan, apply, and destroy. So we will go through that commands one by one, but this is a basic concept of Terraform components. Now Terraform configuration file. So as I said, I have already created, this is the Terraform configuration file .tf. So a Terraform configuration file is a text file that describes the infrastructures that you want to build, change, or manage. These files typically end with extension .tf like main.tf. So each Terraforms have one or more blocks. So what are the blocks? We have a provider block. So provider block basically acts as a bridge between Terraform and APIs of cloud platform or other services, provides define where and how to manage infrastructure. So you can see the example. Example is provider. I've just tried provider. Provider is AWS, Azure. Right now I'm using AWS. So AWS, and I have mentioned the region is US East 1. So this is my region. Okay. As I said, we have a list of providers. So if you click on it, you can see you have a list of providers, and these are the providers: AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, Kubernetes, Alibaba, and lot more providers are there. So these all providers our Terraform supports. So this is the whole purpose of providers. Now second thing is resources. So resources are the actual infrastructure component, such as in AWS case it is EC2 instance, database or storage volume that you want to create. So we start with resources. In double quotes we write AWS instance. So this is basically resource, the way Terraforms identify AWS instance. If you want to create any EC2 instance, so this need to be fixed, and it should be in double quote AWS instance. Example is our local file name. We can put any name in it. It's mentioned as example, and then curly braces start, curly braces end, and then AMI. What will be my AMI, and what will be my EC2 type, that is instance type, that is T2 micro. So this is for resources. Now we will go with the variables. So what are the variables? Variables allows for flexibility and reusability of your Terraform configurations. By using variables, you can change the behavior of your configurations without having to modify the code itself. So variables are basically, it's like within your configuration file, if you use variable, so using that variable at runtime you can pass different values. Like in different programming language, we know what is the purpose of variables. So variables are used, so runtime I can assign any values, that value assigned to that variable, and everywhere that will be applicable. So that is the same concept here also. Outputs. So outputs are used to display information about your infrastructure, such as public IP address of instance and our ID of resources. So that's also we will see in our demo. That is the output. And last one is modules. So modules are reusable component or chunk of codes that makes it easier to organize and scale your Terraform configuration. So within any large project, every time definitely we don't want to write the code again and again. That's why we break that in different models, and models are reusable components. So if I need to use this model on this file, I can use that, and others also. It is same on other programming language. We create some common classes or base classes. This is more on same way, and that is known as module here. So if you see, organizing Terraform file for the larger projects, something like this. So if I say my projects is there, and if I say within networking folder, I have the networking.tf. I have within compute folder, I have instance.tf. Within database folder, I have databases.tf. My main.tf is on top, provider.tf, variables.tf, and output.tf. So this is the, at very high level, the organization of Terraform files for the larger projects. Now let's go to set up AWS access key and secret keys. So why we require to set up AWS access key and secret keys? So if you see this diagram, as an IAM user, I have two ways to log into AWS or any of cloud providers. So first thing is, either I will have the username password. Through that I will log into console and I can access the EC2, S3, IAM or any of the services. That's the one common way. Normally everyone we do that. And second way is using via CLI, basically using the AWS APIs, existing APIs. So manually we no need to go log in and create the EC2, IAM or S3, but our code will do it. And for that, to access these APIs, we need to generate the access keys. So this is one of the important, very important thing as a step to use AWS local from your machine. So for that, what exactly we need to do? We need to log into AWS CLI, IAM, add users and generate AWS access and secrets. That's I can show you in a demo. So I have already logged into my AWS account. If you go and see, this is my IAM. Okay, either from my on this search I can type IAM, or directly I can go to IAM. So this is my IAM. If I need to create a user, so definitely for this I need a user, okay, to give the permission to generate the access keys. So with that user login, I can do the access the AWS resources via code. That is the whole purpose. So to create a user, I will click on user. I will create a user. So user is Terraform user. Click next. So I'm not going to add any group. Next, create user. So user got created. Now if I need to generate the AWS access keys, so I will click here. I will go to security and credentials. In that, I will have different multi-factor authenticator, access keys, APIs keys, SSH, and HTTPS GET credentials and all. But here I will use access keys because I need to generate the access. So create access keys. Now next option is command line interface, or which one is the best for you. So for us, we are going to use it via command line interface. So I will say CLI and click on next. I check this checkbox, click on next, create access keys. So access keys got created. This is very important to download the access keys and keep it always with you, because once you remove from move from this page, you can see the access keys, but secret keys will not be. So downloading both is good too. Okay, so right now I have downloaded it, and in my download file I have the secret keys and access keys both. Okay, so I can show it here. Okay, it is bit uh, confidential, so I'm just sharing you after removing the things. Okay, so I have downloaded this Excel file. So Excel file, I can see this is access key, and this was my secret key. I have just removed it, but it is there. So once you download, your secret key would be there. So that is with me. Okay, so that's the way I have downloaded it. Now what next we have to do? So to access that AWS secret keys and access keys and secret keys, we need AWS CLI. So what is AWS CLI? AWS CLI is a installable that you need to install it on your machine. So you can basically write uh, the code to access the AWS APIs. So it is very easy. If you go to Windows, it is asking you to download this MSI. Okay, if you click on it, it will download it. So I have already downloaded, and after download, if you just double click on it, and it is normal executable installation, so you can easily install it. Once installed, you just go to command prompt and just mention AWS version. So you can see I have AWS CLI 2.30.6. Okay, and these things automatically comes. So that if this version is showing for you, I think we are good. So that AWS CLI is installed. So that is the whole purpose of this system. Now once that is installed, I need to configure whatever the access keys and secret keys. So basically I have given you the screenshot here. So on the command prompt, I will just write AWS configure. Okay, and after clicking on enter, it will ask me AWS access key, which I will provide. It will ask me AWS secret key, which I will provide. It will ask me default region, so I can say default. Okay, otherwise any region I can mention it from my AWS also. So if you go and see, there are many more regions. So you can mention app south 1, US west 2, US east 2, but if you say default, it will go default. And default output formatted, you can mention JSON. So let's do it, and okay, and configure the AWS AI. I will say AWS configure Okay, it is asking me access keys, so let me add the access keys. Enter. It is asking me secret keys. Okay, so let me add the secret keys and then I will back. Okay, and now it is asking me same, it is the reason, so I'm just putting default and formatted JSON. So same thing I have added. Okay, so once that is done, what the change you will see, you will able to see in your C drive. If you go to your C drive, okay, and go to your user, so users, go to your user, you can see .aws folder is being created, and if you click on it, you can see there are two folders, configure and credentials would be there. So that's the way you can basically set up the user AWS access key and secret key from in our local machine, and now from your local machine you can directly talk with the AWS APIs once these folders are there and once you follow the steps. So that is the whole purpose of steps. Now creating the Terraform resource. So I'm going to create a Terraform resource. Okay, and first file would be my provider.authentication.tf. Okay, so I'm going to write it here. Okay, I'm going to delete this file because this is no more use. So okay, and now I can copy this one. Otherwise, if you open this link, so this link is basically useful for any of AWS resource creation. So you can see a lot of resources are here. That's all our AWS resource, and you can simply copy paste for the demo purpose, as well as in your actual implementation also you can take a reference from this page. So this is a very important page. Right now I'm taking a reference from this page and I'm saying these two lines I'm saying. Okay, so in file I'm just going to copy and paste it. Okay, so I'm saying provider is AWS, region is US East 1, and resources I'm saying to create AWS VPN, AWS underscore VPN. So it will go and create a VPN. Okay, here I have just given example, it is my local, so but so no more use, but AWS underscore VPN is important because that's what Terraform, it's all mentioned in my Terraform standards. So we cannot do any change, or any change if we do, that will not work either via that is capital case or removing the space or anything we do. It should be as it is. So that is called resource. That's the way Terraform understand, and AWS provider also understand and will go and create the resource. So there are these things I have already copied. Let's go to the next part. Okay, once it's done, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the three command. Okay, first thing is Terraform init. Okay, next one is Terraform plan, next one is Terraform apply, and last, if I don't need this one, so I can say Terraform destroy. Okay, these four commands I am going to do. So before applying this command, I want to give some theoretical concept of Terraform init. So the Terraform init command is the first command that you run in a new Terraform project. So this is my new Terraform project. I just created a folder, added this one. So this is new. So definitely I need to add it. Okay, and this command performs several important tasks. So what are the tasks? First thing is plugin installation. So plugin is put from provider, so all AWS required plugin is installed. So it download and install the necessary provider plugins specified in your configuration. Providers are responsible for managing the resources of a specific service like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. Second thing is backend initializations. It set up the backend, which is where the Terraform stores the state file. The state file tracks the real world resources managed by your configuration. This can be a local file or a remote backend file, backend like S3 bucket or a Terraform cloud space, which is crucial for collaboration. So why this is required? Because this one is, let's suppose right now I have just created, but if I put it on some Git resource or one or more people are using it, then how the people will know that this any operation is performed or not? So via this state file they will able to know, and that's the way Terraform manages in case of more people are required, and also track what are the changes are going to the AWS or any of the provider. And third thing is module installation. So if your configuration uses modules from the Terraform registry or any resources, Terraform init downloads that. So this is one of the important command, and right now I am going to do it. So if you go and run the terminal, okay, so okay, terminal is here, new terminal. Okay, so I'm on same. Okay, I will say Terraform init. Okay, and click on enter. Okay, so tutorial demo. Okay, let me check the command Terraform init. Okay, so it is Terraform initialization in an empty directory. The directory has no Terraform configuration file. Why it is saying like that? I have the TF file. So let me go and see it. So let me explore it. I will go and explore it. Okay, so Terraform. Okay, okay. So it is actually created underscore VS Code. I'm not sure how it's created. Okay, so let me delete it because it is not required. Otherwise, let me move it on top. Okay. Otherwise, let me add one folder. Actually, VS Code is not required at all. So let me delete it. Okay. Let me create a new file. So okay. So let me copy paste it. Okay. Everything is done. Now let me apply this one. Okay, great. Now it's found. So you can see my initialization in the background, initializing provider plugins. So that's what in our theory we have seen. It is installing the plugin installation. So let it complete. It will take a couple of minutes. Meanwhile, I am showing you what will exactly will happen. So you can see these things are in progress. Okay, once it done, it will give you this kind of information that Terraform has successfully initialized. You may now begin the working with Terraform. Okay, try running Terraform plan to see any changes that are required for infrastructure. All Terraform commands should now work. So this is the green message, or maybe the successful message I will see once this initialization is complete. So it is still doing, let it complete. Meanwhile, I will explain you what is Terraform plan. So Terraform plan, okay, after init we do the Terraform plan. So what the Terraform plan do? So Terraform plan command create an execution plan. It doesn't actually make any changes on your infrastructure. Instead, it compares your desired state, okay, defined in your configuration files with the current state of your infrastructure. So basically, in my, if you see in my current structure, infrastructure, so if you will see and go to VPN, sorry, VPC. So in VPC, you will see I have only one VPC. I have only one VPC. Okay, so I have not created, there is no VPC which is mentioned in my file. Okay, so okay, see, it is done. Okay, so great. So now we are moving, so this VPC. Okay, so now we are going to add the Terraform plan. So what the Terraform plan will do, we'll go and check, hey, in file I have mentioned to create VPC, but in my actual there is no VPC, so it will understand that. Okay, and create a plan for it. Okay, so the output of Terraform plan shows you which resource will be created, what will be updated, what will be destroyed. So basically it's a kind of a message for you or information for you before actual deployment. Just to go and review your plan. If you are okay with your plan, then only you need to apply. So this command is a safe check and allows you to review exactly what Terraform will do before it does it. Okay, it highly recommended to run Terraform plan before Terraform apply to avoid unexpected changes. So this is an important command. Okay, now we are going to apply that. So we are going to apply here, and if I say apply, okay, so Terraform plan, my bad. Okay, so if I click on Terraform plan, you can see it is still running. Okay, encountered an error while generating the plan, retrieving AWS account details, uh, validation provider credentials. Okay, invalid token ID. Okay, so basically token ID is something, it seems like not correct. Let me go and check it. So let me go and see what the exactly token ID it is. Okay, so this is my AWS. Even though click on edit, I can see it also. So this is my default region. Okay, and if I click on second one, so this is my AWS access keys and secret keys. So if I go and change, make compare with my actual access key and secret key, it is there. So there should be no issue, but still it is showing. So let me see. Plan failed. Terraform encountered an error while executing the plan, retrieving AWS account details. Okay. So request ID, invalid security tokens are there. Okay. Um, provider. authentication.tf, line number 2. Okay, so AWS it is, that is correct. Okay, so let me go and see in my AWS it is the same or not. Okay, users, Terraform user, click on it, security credentials. Okay, so this is my access key. Okay, so let me do access key again. Okay, and that's the way I have created the access key. So access key seems like okay, but still it is not allowing it. So okay, let's go and do one thing. um, okay, let me pause the video. Okay, so to overcome this issue, what exactly I'm going to do it? Okay, I'm going to create a new user. So create a new user, that is Terraform demo. Okay, next, create user. So Terraform demo, I will click on it, security credentials, access key, command line interface. Next, okay, describe tag. So tag will be okay. Last time I think I have not added tag. So tag will be Terraform demo, create access. Okay, download CSV. So I have downloaded it. This is the new CSV. So okay, so let me add this CSV things to the command line. And what exactly I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this .aws folder at all. So you will see it will create a new. So that I have deleted. Okay, I will again go here and mention that AWS configure. It is asking access key, so I will mention the access key is here. It is asking secret token. Secret token is here. Reason, default, and format JSON. Okay. Now if you go and see, it's automatically creates one dot AWS and it is all there. Okay. So now let me try again with this plan command and see. Okay, great. So this time it was successful. Okay, maybe I have not added tag, that was the reason. So I can see this is whole about the plan command. Okay, now let's go and see the apply. So what the apply command will do? So Terraform apply command executes the actions proposed in the plan. It is a command that actually provisions and updates the infrastructure. After running infrastructure apply, Terraform prompts you to approval to proceed with the proposed changes. Okay, begin creating, updating, deleting resources in the correct order. Okay, uh, along with dependencies, and update the state file to reflect the new state of managed infrastructure. So in state file you will be able to see it is there. So if I try to run it, okay, so let me apply Terraform apply. So whatever is planned, it is going to apply. It is going to connect to AWS using AWS infrastructure and going to create a new VPC for us. Okay, it is asking yes, so I will say yes. Okay, but it give me the error. What error is? It is saying that you are not authorized to perform this operation. And why it is? It is intentionally because the user which we have created, there is no basically have the admin access. So I need to go and provide a permission to that. So I will provide a permission, attach a policy directly, and I will say administrator access. So that access is required. Okay, I will say next, add permission. Now permission is added. So again I will go and try to hit it. Okay, it is asking me yes. I will say yes. It is creating VPC. Okay, resource is created. So now I will go and see is it really created or not. So if I go and check VPC, so you can see one new VPC is created, and VPC ID, if I try to match, it is 0CFA. So 0CFA. So this one is recently created at 10.0.016, and that's what we have mentioned here, 10.0.16. Okay, so that is all about apply command. And now if we have to destroy it, so we no need to go and manually destroy it. For that we have a destroy command. So Terraform perform a following steps. Okay, generates a destroy plan. Okay, once we click on Terraform destroy, present the plan. Okay, prompt for confirmation and execute for the destruction. So all these things we can see it here. Terraform destroy. Okay, so whatever things I have created from my configuration file, I am going to destroy it. It is creating a plan. Okay, it is asking for approval, so I say yes. Okay, so it is destroyed. So it is exactly destroyed or not. If I go and just refresh it, so I can see my VPC has gone. So this is all about destroy command. So this is for the today's session, friends, and in our next session we will see other modules, other configuration blocks like resource, variables, output, and models in an exact practical order. And there are so many topics that we need to create. So please be connected with us, and please like and like the videos, and subscribe the channel. Thank you so much.